Did you know that 72% of the people globally have experienced decision paralysis due to overwhelming choices? It's actually a common challenge, but there are effective ways to move forward. And today, I'll share 7 secrets to overcome decision paralysis so that you can become a more confident leader. So, stick around to learn actionable strategies that could transform how you approach decisions. I'm Dr. Carter, Dr. Tawana, and I'm an executive coach for Black women. And in this video, I'll show you how to overcome decision paralysis, a challenge that affects even the most accomplished leaders. These practical tips are designed for executive women navigating high stakes decisions. So let's go ahead and dive in. Decision paralysis or analysis paralysis is that moment where you're stuck, unable to move forward because you're overwhelmed by all the choices or you fear making the wrong choice. Does that sound familiar? For executive women, this is often amplified by unique pressures like having to navigate bias in the workplace, managing high expectations. As women, period, we tend to have more expectations put on us than other folk, and balancing personal and professional responsibilities. The stakes feel so high that indecision creeps in, paralyzing progress. But staying stuck costs you opportunities, it erodes your confidence, and it just adds stress to your life. The good news: overcoming decision paralysis is not only possible, it is actually a skill that you can master. Starting with secret number one. Secret number one is identify the root cause. Let's start with understanding why you're stuck. Are you afraid of failure? Or are you overthinking all the different possible outcomes? Or is perfectionism holding you back? Once you know the root cause, then you can address it. Years ago, I faced a difficult decision about some decisions that need to be made in my team. My hesitation, it wasn't about the options, more it was concerning the fact that I wanted to be the perfect outcome. I was trying to control the outcome before I ever made a decision. And I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings based on the decision I had to make. But once I acknowledged that perfection wasn't possible, it just wasn't possible, I was able to move forward. So here's an action tip: ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Write it down. It's the first step to overcoming decision paralysis. Secret number two: prioritize your values. Definitely prioritize your values. Decisions become clear when they align with your core values. For example, one of my clients had to choose between two job offers. Both looked really great, but then she started revisiting her values. Specifically, where she said the whole reason for hiring me as her executive coach was she wanted to spend more time with her family. And one of those jobs did not allow her to spend more time with her family. In fact, it would have been less, right? So understanding how it related to her values, it made the choice pretty obvious. Okay. Here's another action tip: write down your top 3 values and use those as a compass for decision making. And secret number 3: break down the decisions. Oftentimes, big decisions feel overwhelming because they're so complex. They have lots of moving parts and moving people. So definitely break them down, chunk them down into smaller parts, which makes them more manageable. For example, imagine that you have to consider an organization overhaul. So you don't want to jump in and just start doing things. You really want to start by identifying the priorities, what are the resources available and what are the timelines you're working with, rather than trying to tackle everything at once. And here's another action tip. Use a pros and cons list or decision tree to map out your steps, and use delegation effectively. Delegate to the folks with the right skill sets. Okay. And number 4, set a time limit. If you're like me, spending way too much time dwelling over and over and overthinking just makes, the analysis paralysis way worse. So definitely set a time limit, right? It gives your brain time to really cut out the overthinking. When you have way too much time, setting a time limit takes out all that overthinking. So setting a deadline actually forces you to act, right? Midway into my career, I just started using like a 24-hour deadline for non-critical decisions. In other words, if it wasn't that big of a deal, like Nike said, just do it. Just go ahead and jump in, make this decision and get it over with. Doing that actually reduces stress, and it helped me to avoid analysis paralysis. Then I could use the time that I save for more complex decisions. And so again, an action tip here is for smaller decisions, just get it done. 24-hour limit. Look at all the possible things, in the decision, making sure you got to look at all your options and all your resources. Give yourself 24 hours to do that and then make a decision, right? For the bigger decisions, obviously you want to set a realistic deadline. You want to stick to it, but you want to give yourself realistically enough time to examine all the moving parts, right? Now, will you do me a big favor here right now, like right this very second? Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps more people find this video so that they can get these helpful tips for their career as well. Secret number 5, consult trusted advisors. You don't have to figure it all out on your own, and no, you don't have all the answers. No one does, right? Trusted mentors or colleagues or an executive coach can help you by adding fresh perspectives. Why does this matter? As a Black woman in leadership, finding relatable support is crucial. I coach my clients to create their own personal board of directors so that they can navigate those big decisions. And many times, I'm the first or the second person on their board. And that's okay. You start where you are and then you build from there. It is tough. It is tough sometimes as a person of color to find mentors, to find sponsors. And so that's why you have access to me as your executive coach. I'll be the first person on your board of directors if it's needed. All right. So action tip here, identify 3 advisors, 3 trusted advisors who understand your values and can offer tailored advice. But it's okay if you cannot find 3 people. That's why you hire an executive coach to get you started. And secret number 6, embrace imperfection. Perfectionism can just paralyze you quickly. Progress, not perfection, is what drives success. Did you get it done? Here's a mindset shift. Think of every decision as a learning opportunity. Even if it's imperfect, you'll gain valuable insights as you make decisions, and you'll gain insights when you make mistakes. Like, it's a win-win. An action tip here, challenge yourself to make a good enough decision today. It doesn't have to be perfect, because guess what? If it's not quite what it needs to be, you see what happens. Now you get to go back and add to or shift altogether. Learning experience. It's a win or learn. If you look at everything or as a win or lose, it does make you, tend to more err on the side of analysis paralysis. But if you look at it as a win or learn, make the decision and learn from it and keep it moving. Okay. And number 7, secret number 7, do trust your intuition. Your intuition is powerful, but it's often underutilized, right? Especially when you get caught up in analysis paralysis. So, one of my clients was hesitant to pitch a bold project idea. After weeks of analysis, I actually coached her through to really lean in and just trust her intuition. She had all the facts, she had all the data. It's like, just lean in and trust what your gut is saying to you. So she did, she trusted her gut and her analysis of the data. That project actually became a career defining moment for her. So, my action tip here is take a quiet moment and reflect before making that final decision. Your intuition is often way more reliable than overthinking it. Okay. Here's a key takeaway: decision making is a skill. And every time you practice it, you become better at it and you build confidence. When you apply these 7 secrets, you'll notice a shift, not in just how quickly you make decisions, but also in how confident you feel about making those decisions. Imagine leading with clarity, knowing every choice aligns with your values and with your goals. We have covered 7 powerful secrets to help you overcome decision paralysis. So, from identifying the root cause to really leaning in and trusting your intuition, each secret is designed to simplify decision making and empower you as a leader. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. If you found these tips helpful, go ahead and check out this next video. It'll show here 10 ways the eldest daughter syndrome hurts your career. And I will see you in the next video.